The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. calls for a special command conference with top security officials to address the recent coalition incident in the West Philippine Sea. Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board whistleblower Jeffrey Tumbado admits he has no proof of corruption allegations against the agency. Another group of distressed overseas Filipino workers from Israel returned to the Philippines earlier today amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. And find out the potential link between the sounds of explosion and ambulances heard at the Rafah crossing and the ongoing conflict between Hamas and Israel. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, October 23, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Mariela Toza. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Marvi Delfin. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. summons a special command conference convening with top security officials following the collision incident between Chinese and Filipino vessels near Ayungin, Seoul last Sunday. As a response to the incident, he has issued a directive to the Philippine Coast Guard or PCG to immediately initiate a maritime investigation. According to the Presidential Communications Office, President Marcos instructed the PCG to conduct this investigation in accordance with international maritime laws. This investigation pertains to the events surrounding the rotation and resupply or RORI mission to Ayungin, Seoul, which involve vessels of the China Coast Guard. The incident, marked by dangerous, illegal, and reckless maneuvers by the China Coast Guard vessels, resulted in damage to a Philippine vessel within our exclusive economic zone. PCO also added that the government is taking this incident seriously and it is being addressed at the highest level. The PCG has committed to completing its investigation within 5 days as they delve into the details of this concerning maritime incident in the West Philippine Sea. Former staff member of the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, Jeffrey Tumbado, openly admitted before lawmakers in the House of Representatives that he lacks any substantial proof to support his corruption allegations against the agency. Consequently, he found himself facing a citation for contempt by the House Committee on Transportation. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB whistleblower Jeffrey Tumbado made a startling admission before lawmakers in the House of Representatives. Tumbado openly confessed that he lacked concrete evidence to substantiate his earlier allegations of corruption within the agency. He further revealed that his accusations against suspended LTFRB Chairman Chofilo Guadis III were driven by his feelings of upset. Tumbado made the statement during the motu proprio hearing in aid of legislation held by the House Committee on Transportation. Tumbado emphasized that his claims were based solely on complaints he received from transportation operators and that he possessed no direct evidence to support his expose. It's worth noting that Tumbado was a former executive assistant to Chairman Guadis.
May preba ba kayo na malaki ang korupsyon sa LTFRB?
Wala, Your Honor. Opinion ko lamang po yun.
Nako.
Umina tayo.
Boss,
Umina tayo.
mabigyan mo kami ng opinion nyo na wala kayong preba? Sinayang niyo oras ho ng mga kongresista?
Due to his inability to substantiate his allegations and his changing statements, the House Committee on Transportation cited Tumbado for contempt.
The chair hereby declare Mr. Tumbado in contempt and be detained in this Congress for a maximum number of 10 days.
Tumbado, in an act of contrition, once again publicly apologized, this time to suspended LTFRB Chairman Guadis, Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, and Malacanang. In response, Chairman Guadis is reportedly contemplating filing charges against Tumbado for the damage done. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections and some authorities hope for smooth and peaceful conduct of the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, or BSKE, on Monday. Dante Amento details why.
All election paraphernalia have been meticulously dispatched to various provinces across the regions, a significant logistical operation. Commission on Elections or COMELEC Chief George Erwin Garcia remains steadfast in his belief that they are fully prepared with the invaluable assistance of numerous government agencies and authorities.
Handang-handa na po inyong Commission on Elections, ang AFP, PNP, Coast Guard, ang DepEd at lahat po ng mga partner agencies natin. Wala na pong duda, iilang araw na lang ang aming pong kahandaan ay naando na.
A substantial force has been mobilized for the democratic endeavor, with over 494,000 teachers entrusted to serve as the diligent Board of Election Inspectors, or BEIs. They are accompanied by more than 187,000 policemen, over 30,000 dedicated Philippine Coast Guard or PCG personnel, and an additional 117,000 members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP. Uniformed personnel will be deployed to ensure that every citizen can freely exercise their sacred right to suffrage.
Hindi naman pwedeng napakadaming uniform personnel sa isang area, sa isang barangay, sa isang munisipyo. It will create a situation na aakalain ng ilan na napakagulo ng lugar na yan.
In a reassuring note, the Philippine National Police or PNP has reported no substantial threats to the orderly conduct of the elections so far.
Wala namang nabago. That's why yung deployment natin ng personnel. Likewise, we are coordinating with the AFP na for the deployment of additional forces sa BARM. Everything is ready.
Chairman Garcia, in a heartfelt appeal, has called upon the authorities to shield the teachers, election personnel, and the voting public from harm.
Itong mga bayani ng bagong demokrasya, ng ating demokrasya ay dapat nating poprotektahan. Lalong-lalo na po ang ating mga guro. Kung wala po sila, napakahirap isagawa isang halalan.
The COMELEC wants to maintain the legacy of the historic and peaceful 2022 elections. With only 23 election-related incidents to date and an impressive voter turnout of 83%, they appear to be on the right path. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
As the upcoming Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections approach, the number of candidates in Abra province is decreasing as some have chosen to withdraw. This trend is a response to recorded election-related incidents in the area. In response to this situation, the Regional Office Cordillera has dispatched an additional 100 police officers from the regional headquarters to ensure a peaceful election on October 30th. Grace Flores will tell us why.
In the province of Abra, a total of 250 barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan candidates have filed withdrawals for the upcoming Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, or BSKE, commencing on October 18, 2023. Police Brigadier General David Peredo Jr. reported that they have already recorded 3 election-related incidents in Abra, with 3 more under investigation.
Candidates ang nag-withdraw. Pinakamarami is yung Barangay Kagawad, sumusunod yung Sangguniang Kabataan, pumangatlo na yung kapitan, then SK chairman. Hindi pa na-final, kaya yun ang gagawin pa. Dahil ito kasi yung nag-monitor dito or nag-OPR na opisina is itong DIDM sa Krami. Kaya naka-schedule pa for validation.
Based on COMELEC data, among those who withdrew their candidacies, there were 48 candidates for barangay chairman, 88 for Kagawad members, 24 for SK chairperson, and 90 aspirants for SK members. The municipality of Bangued recorded the highest number of withdrawals among 2023 BSKE candidates, with 49 candidates choosing to withdraw, followed by Likuan Baay with 40, Tineg with 23, Bukay with 17, Lagangilang with 16, Luba with 13, Pidigan with 11, and Pilar with 10. In response to the situation, the Police Regional Office Cordillera sent additional 100 police officers to the Abra Police Provincial Office.
So as you are deployed to your respective areas of election duty, do not loosen your guard. Stay vigilant and be reminded to be apolitical, as well as maintain discipline, professionalism, and respect for human rights as you perform your sworn duty in the whole duration of these elections.
Grace Flores, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, in the midst of Beijing's efforts to bolster their national security through the implementation of anti-spying laws and tackling corruption, a Chinese spy working for the United States finds himself facing the court. Nino will tell us why.
In July of 2021, a Chinese citizen by the name of Mr. Hao found himself in the spotlight, detained on charges of suspicion of espionage. China's top spy agency disclosed this revelation on Sunday. Mr. Hao's involvement traces back to 2013, when he worked in the Defense Institute. During that time, he unveiled Chinese state secrets to an undercover intelligence officer, an encounter facilitated while he was visiting a United States university as a scholar. In exchange for his services, Mr. Hao was promised payments ranging from $600 to $1,000, depending on the classified information's sensitivity. These exchanges continued even after his return to China. The Ministry of State Security has issued a statement asserting that the dissemination of non-public information through such means amount to deception, temptation, and conspiracy. Meanwhile, China has been increasingly apprehending numerous suspected spies in recent years, encompassing both Chinese nationals and foreign individuals who have come under the suspicion of espionage. Nino, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
On Sunday afternoon, multiple witnesses reported sounds of an explosion and ambulances at the Rafah Crossing. The Rafah Crossing is located between the borders of Egypt and the Gaza Strip. According to witnesses, the blasts were heard after a second aid convoy truck crossed from the Egyptian side of the border. Since October 7th, due to the conflict between the Hamas and the Israel, bombardments on the Gaza side of the Rafah Crossing have continued to damage roads and buildings. Currently, the exact cause and location of the blast heard Sunday afternoon have not been identified. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Marvy.
Thank you, Bianca. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. After the Philippine government's offer of repatriation, another group of 25 overseas Filipino workers arrived in the country on Monday afternoon. Gladys Tawabi details why.
The third batch of overseas Filipino workers has returned to the Philippines. This group comprises 16 caregivers, 9 hotel workers, and even includes a 4-month-old baby. Remarkably, out of the 25 individuals in this batch, 14 had not yet completed their work contracts, but were permitted by their employers to return home due to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas.
We make sure na what I would call a positive break. May positive break. Yung mga hindi finished contracts, merong positive break o sa Tagalog ay magandang paghihiwalay with their respective employers. And we have been very mindful na hindi ito abandonment ng duty situation, because ang projection natin dito, kapag humupa ang sitwasyon, may mababalikan pa sila na trabaho.
Upon their arrival, they underwent immediate physical examinations and psychological evaluations, with 2 individuals identified as needing psychosocial intervention. Currently, the Department of Migrant Workers is processing 120 requests from overseas Filipino workers who wish to come back to the Philippines. It's indicative of the deep concern and challenges many OFWs face in these trying times. Furthermore, approximately 650 OFW families have sought assistance from the Department of Migrant Workers for their loved ones in Israel. The government has accounted for 648 of these individuals, while 2 are still missing. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
$715 personnel from the Philippine National Police, 250 from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, 115 from the Philippine Coast Guard, and 90 from the Department of Education have been officially turned over to the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC. These dedicated individuals will be deployed for the upcoming Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections on October 30. In addition to the personnel, the Philippine National Police has allocated mobility assets to enhance security during the BSKE.
Let us remember that the Barangay Sangguniang Kabataan election is not just about selecting leaders. But for us, it is also about fostering a sense of responsibility, unity, and civic engagement on our fellow citizens.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines has urged their personnel to safeguard the people's votes, emphasizing the importance of protecting the electoral process.
Let us also remain vigilant against any threats that may attempt to undermine the integrity of this election. As we embark on this critical mission, let us all remember that our efforts will shape the future of our beloved country.
Meanwhile, PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acoda Jr. has emphasized the importance of maintaining the integrity and fairness of the election. These preparations are vital to ensuring a smooth and transparent electoral process in the Philippines.
Let us all pledge to provide the Filipino people with the service they deserve and can trust. To our partner agencies, as we move forward, let us unite under the servisyo ng PAGASA. Together, we will ensure that the BSKE is conducted with integrity, fairness, and in the spirit of democracy, allowing the voices of our people to be heard loud and clear.
The Land Transportation Office, or LTO, is exploring the possibility of introducing electronic driver's licenses as a long-term solution to address the shortage of plastic card supplies. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Amid the ongoing challenges related to the supply of plastic cards for driver's licenses, the Land Transportation Office, or LTO, is actively seeking solutions to address this issue. LTO Chief Assistant Secretary Attorney Vigor Mendoza has mentioned that one of the solutions they are considering is the utilization of electronic or e-driver's licenses, which is available through their Land Transportation Management System, or LTMS. Although it has been launched, they are still in the process of conducting a massive information drive to ensure that traffic law enforcers are aware of the policy. Mendoza also pointed out that the full implementation of e-driver's licenses may require amendments to existing laws.
Pinag-aaralan na namin yan. Meron tayong ginawang technical working group. Halos tapos na po ang kanilang trabaho para pag-aralan paano ipapatupad itong electronic driver's license. At least for domestic use man lang. No? So yun ang tinitingnan natin as one of the long-term solutions to this driver's license problem.
Currently, the LTO is facing another issue with the delay in issuing driver's licenses. The Quezon City Regional Trial Court has issued a writ of preliminary injunction against the LTO, the Department of Transportation, and the winning bidder, Banner Plastic Card Incorporated, in response to a case filed by All Card Incorporated, who participated in the same bidding. The UNTV News tried to get the side of the petitioner at their office address in Quezon City. However, no one was available to answer our queries. The LTO is now exploring temporary solutions to address the potential shortage of plastic card supplies once the injunction becomes effective. Among these solutions are reverting to paper driver's licenses and automatically extending the validity of driver's licenses expiring in the next 2 months.
Mapipilitan tayo dun sa mag-expire ng November, December and onwards, automatic extension na naman hanggang Abril of 2024. Kung talagang ma-implement itong preliminary injunction, we have no choice but to go back to yung dun sa paper license ulit natin.
As of now, the supplier has delivered approximately 1.9 million plastic cards out of more than 5 million from the contract. The LTO's backlog for driver's licenses stands at more than 2 million pieces. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
There will be no changes in the driver's license examination process. According to their technical working group, there is no examination that can effectively gauge an individual's mental state. Last month, the Land Transportation Office, or LTO, had expressed their consideration to modify the licensing process due to a series of road rage incidents. The intention was to ensure that those obtaining licenses would have a better temperament in an effort to prevent road confrontations. However, it appears that the proposed changes have been set aside, and the current examination process for driver's licenses will remain as is.
Our discussions with the medical profession, mga medical clinics rin ho natin, wala ho talagang examination na makakasigurado na yung examination na yon ilalabas yung mental state ng ating driver, no? So ayaw naman natin pahirapan pa yung exam, no? Wala namang kasiguruduhan. So we did not push through with amending the driver's test.
Experts are making predictions that the presence of El Nino may extend for a longer duration. Additionally, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, is closely monitoring the situation and has observed that the interval between occurrences of strong El Nino has now reduced by half from the usual period. Ray Palayo will tell us why.
The Philippine State Weather Bureau, PAGASA, is maintaining continuous monitoring of the El Nino phenomenon. The particular occurrence is being described as a Super El Nino due to the abrupt increase in temperature.
Kaya tinawag kasi siya na Super El Nino. Usually kasi yung pag-init na temperatura ng mga around more than 2 degrees or 2.5 degrees, hindi po yan bigla-bigla natin nararanasan dun sa mga tinatawag nating conventional El Nino or traditional El Nino. But then dito sa El Nino na episode na ito, nararanasan natin yun na sobrang napakainit agad ng temperatura ng ibabaw ng dagat.
The cycle of strong or Super El Nino typically transpires every 10 to 15 years. However, it is reckoning more frequent, occurring now every 5 to 7 years. The impact of this El Nino even may also persist for more than a year.
So pwede siya magtagal more than 9 months or 9 to 12 months or pwedeng more than a year. It could take time to recover yung ating ocean temperature para lumamig siya or at least maging average yung ating temperatura ng dagat.
El Nino's influence on the eastern equatorial Pacific region often results in increased rainfall. In contrast, in the western Pacific, Where the Philippines is located, it leads to below normal rainfall and subsequently drought conditions. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Argentina's general elections voting counting process smashed expectations after Peronist coalition lead to set the stage to a polarized runoff vote next month. Maven Carrizo will tell us why. Yes, Maven, go ahead.
Good evening, Bianca. Good evening to you, Bianca. In a closely watched national presidential election held on Sunday, October 22nd, Argentinian citizens turned out in large numbers to cast their votes. The voting has now closed and the counting is underway. Throughout the South American nation, the votes were expected to be divided among the three main candidates: the leading libertarian economist Javier Milei, the centrist Peronist Economy Minister Sergio Massa, and the conservative Patricia Bullrich. From the latest updates, Massa is currently running ahead, having earned 36% of the votes, followed by Milei with 30% and Bullrich with 23.8%. Amidst the backdrop of the country's economic crisis in 2 decades, the focus remained on the far-right libertarian radical Javier Milei. The vote counting process also hinted at initial indications that the embattled personalist ruling coalition was outperforming expectations. In order to secure victory, a candidate must obtain more than 45% of the vote or must have at least 40%, with a 10-point margin over their closest rival. While there has been no official release of data yet, multiple exit polls are indicating that it's possible the election will result in a runoff vote expected to take place on November 19th. Back to you, Bianca.
All right, thank you, Maven, for that live report. And those are the reasons for the news around the world. I am Bianca Quijano, live from Toronto, Canada. Good evening.
Our Kasangbahay. As the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 28, it says, "In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death." And those are the reasons behind the news October 23, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Marvy Delfin, live from Australia.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Mariela Toza, live from Australia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.